Hey guys, and welcome to a new Dungeon Defenders 2 video. I'm your host Mr. Peter, and this is going to be a quick summary of what to expect on this update. If you guys are not aware, Dungeon Defenders 2 is getting an update, and this is the patch note for that update. If you guys want to check out the patch notes yourself, I'll leave the link in the description below. This update is coming out for PC players first, and then PS4 and Xbox players will get their update probably sometime next week. Alright, let's see what they have in store for us. Winter is over, all of the Christmas decorations and all of the snow are going, that's including the Christmas tree. But don't worry guys, they're replacing the Christmas tree with a new character named Old Peepers. You can get your daily rewards from him. Not only you can get your daily rewards from him, you can also get consumables for the low price of 1000 gold. You also can get a chance to get carnival consumables. I know a lot of you guys weren't here for the carnival event, so you missed a lot of cool stuff. But now you'll be able to get those cool stuff again, so that's awesome. They actually give you a list of carnival consumables that you can get. Feel free to pause the video or check it out yourself, the link is in the description below. Introducing 2 new shards and a new pet. They're adding 2 new shards for this update, one for the buff beam and one for the lavamancer. The lavamancer shard generates additional lava charges on successful melee attacks, while the buff beam shard will increase the damage boost given by the buff beam. They haven't said what rarity the shard is, but I'm assuming it's a Chaos 8 shard. Hopefully you can purchase them in the shard shop, but if not, you'll have to play Onslaught to find the new 2 shards. The new pet they're introducing is a crystalline Betsy. You can only find her in the Wyvern's Den Prime incursion, which is Prime 6. New bundles. They've updated all of the cosmetic bundles in the game. Feel free to pause the video or check it out yourself, the link is in the description below. They have a new tower skin, it's the Abyss Lord Hypno skin, but you can have this skin for every tower in the game, which is pretty cool. They also promise that they're experimenting with new fun looking skins, and they will be available sometime in the future. I'm really excited for that because we do need more tower skins. And lastly, they updated the shard bundle. There's a lot of interesting bundles here. The most interesting one to me is the Golden Destruction bundle, where you get 11 destruction shards and 300,000 gold. And Golden Speed bundle, where you get 11 defense rate shards and 300,000 gold. Having these shards gilded is going to help during your onslaught journey or your reset journey, so really good stuff. Persistent tower option. With the persistent tower option, you can summon, upgrade and sell towers by activating each button once. This option will be on by default, but for players who want to maintain the original tower placement experience, there is a menu option in options called Persistent Tower Interaction that you can uncheck. Not entirely sure if this is going to be used a lot, as the meta build requires one singular tower, but it's a nice addition. Balance changes. Lots and lots of changes happening in this update. The Dracolog will no longer appear in Onslaught. Not entirely sure if they mean the map or the boss, as this is under the category of map. Hopefully the map is gone, because I know everyone here is sick and tired of the Ice Dragon freezing everything. All of the anti-mods and controller servo are getting nerfed. I have no idea why they want to nerf these mods, but yeah, they're getting nerfed. Damage has been reduced by 23% and damage reduced by 16%. The current figures for anti-mods are 55% in Chaos 7 and 50% for controller, but when the update rolls out, all anti-mods will deal 32% and 34% for controller, so controller will be the dominant percentage damage mod. You'll most likely want a controller on every aggressive tower. They're changing Shocking Rev to Stunning Rev. It now deals magic damage instead of storm damage, so you can't do the electric combo. Damage has been increased by 200%, now stuns for 2 seconds. The original mod stunned for 1 second, however with the electric combo it stunned for 5 seconds, so this is overall a nerf. I think they're afraid of making the weapon man strong again, and I don't blame them, because it was completely broken when it first came out. We'll have to see if the mod is better when the update comes out. Draining Strikes got a nerf and a buff. Draining Strikes is the Barbarian shard where it increases your Siphon's healing. Now they added a passive where you deal 75% reduced damage, but they changed the scaling to multiplicative instead of additive. The Barbarian should have a higher healing scaling. Pets got a huge buff. Pet's damage now scales off gear score, so the higher your gear is, the more damage your pet is going to deal. Hopefully this includes pet abilities, but we'll have to wait and see. 2 elemental combos got buffed. Fire and Oil Elemental now melts enemies' armor, increases the damage taken from all sources by 25%. I believe that's very close to the Petrify combo. I think Petrify does 29%. This is a buff to the Oil Geyser. a indirect buff to the Huntress as she has oil and fire for her abilities, a indirect buff for the Abyss Lord as he has a fire shard and can equip an oil mod, so both of these heroes will be able to deal percentage damage. Really good stuff. Ice and Earth Elemental no longer requires crushing damage. Hitting a frozen enemy with earth damage increases the earth damage dealt and also stuns them for 2.5 seconds. This is a buff towards the Earth Shatter as it has a mod called Shatterquake, which is basically Frostfire. Speaking of Frostfire with Drenching Strikes and Earth will be a devastating combo, especially on the Nuke Monk. You may have to change Grave Infection to Earth. A slight indirect buff to the shard Frosty Beams. Frosty Beams with Shattering Torpedo is going to cause a very interesting relationship. Fiery Brimstone, that's the Abyss Lord's fire shard and they're increasing the damage by 200%. Like I said earlier, Fiery Brimstone and the oil mod, that's going to do percentage damage, so he's going to dish out some serious damage. Hailstorm Tower, reduce the animation to the higher damage uptime. The problem with this tower is that when it kills an enemy, it stops attacking. That part actually makes the tower unviable. Hopefully with this update, it will continue to attack, but if it doesn't, it's not worth investing in this tower. The Barbarian Siphon Stunt Space Healing value reduced by 50%, again another nerf to him. Harpies, same thing with the Hailstorm Tower. This tower is actually pretty good, but because it pauses per attack, it makes it unviable. Hornet's Nest, increase the number of hornets on a single enemy to 6 from 3, a nice buff. Huntress, piercing shot cast animation time reduced by 35%, another small buff to her, she's looking very interesting right now. Explosive Trap, damage drop off reduced by 35%, nice. Geyser Trap, radius increased to 800 from 400, nice. Explosive Surprise, damage radius updated. What they mean by this is because they buffed the Geyser Trap's range, they also buffed the shard's range too. So yeah, new shard for the Lavamancer. Buff Beam, collision radius increased by 100% for no particular reason at all. The Reflect Beam, damage reduced by 80%. This is a huge nerf, the tower will no longer deal crazy damage. This change is to make the tower more of a utility tower instead of your main DPS. I don't think the devs understand how difficult it is at floor 900 and above, but we're gamers, we adapt, we change and we survive. New Buff Beam Shard. Unholy, damage increased by 81% and now scales off for armor. Not a shard many people use, and I still don't think many people will use the shard. Lots and lots of bug fixes, but the main one that caught my eye is this one. Fixed an issue where Ancient Power no longer resets Hyper Shard progression. That's a very big change. This will make your Ancient Power reset much easier and much smoother, so their strategy now is to get all the Hyper Shards and abuse them during your resets. The best way of getting all the Hyper Shards is by completing all the primes. That'll be all for this video. I know it's a lot to take in, but remember, you can check out the patch notes yourself. The link is in the description below. What do you guys think of this update? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you excited for it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.